What's up, everybody? Rob Arrington here, and we are back for a weekly challenge. We're going to play a 12 board match point challenge right here on Bridge Base. And we have an exciting first hand for you here. One spade pass to you. Look at this monster. You have 18 high card points. You have all four aces. And you happen to have even a better hand because you have a spade fit and a side five card suit. So just remember, folks, when you only have three card support, and a really good hand, you can't show this in one bid, right? If you had four card support here, you would just slap down that Jacoby Tuno Trump bid, and then you would have your way with the auction, knowing you have a spade fit and a game forcing hand. Here, it's a two-stepper, right? We bid two diamonds first, and that's our game forcing bid, and then we are going to support spades later. But what we're going to do with a good hand is what, folks? What do we do with a really good hand in an auction where we can game force right away? We're going to go slow. We're going to creep. We're going to creep like TLC right here. So, interesting thing with two spades. For us normal human beings, you should just be playing two spades as a six card suit. The robot unfortunately plays this as any minimum hand, right? They may have six cards, but they don't guarantee it here. I like the luxury of knowing my partner has a six card major in these spots, so I would recommend that in situations like this with minimum balanced hands, you bid two no trump instead, and you save the two spade bid for your six card holdings. But the robot, you got to play their system, right? There, you're not going to sit down and get to talk to them before the round, so we can't change anything. So here we just slowly get there. Support, and look at this, nice. I like that they highlight this support. Look it up there, possibly a strong hand. And this is right? If I hop to four spades here, I would just be saying, look, I game forced, I had 13 plus, I'm right around 13. Here, I have way more, right? So not surprisingly, partnered is not going to want to cooperate here. They have no aces, right? They probably have at most the king of spades for key cards. But I mean, I think our hand is way too good just to shut this down, even though they have tended to show a minimum here. But I mean, yeah, it's tough. You have a hand that just doesn't have any problems with it, so you can bid four no trump right away. You may sometimes, when partner just has a real bad hand over there that they decided to open one spade, you may be too high, but I think it's worth investigating with a hand like this. So we're going to bid four no trump. And partner gives us one or four key cards. So again, a little bit of a glitch with the robots as far as their agreement. It's not a glitch. It's just their agreement. They play 0, 3, 1, 4 key card, which means when they have one or four, they're going to bid five diamonds. A lot more humans, I think, play 14-30. It's just the reverse of those first two bids. Five clubs and five diamonds mean the opposite. So just be mindful of that. And once again, folks, don't forget, when you play in any game with a robot involved, when they bid something or when their partner bids something, you can tell exactly what the robot's going to take it for or what their bids are going to mean. So don't forget to use that resource here. And if you're new to bidding, it's just going to help you learn a pretty solid system other than some, tiny glitches. So when partner has one, they have the king of spades. Let's practice our key card stuff here. We're going to bid five hearts because we want to know where the queen of hearts is. And if partner shows us the queen of hearts and maybe some other wow. That's nice. All right, so they showed us the queen of hearts, or sorry, the queen of spades, which means they have king, queen, fifth, or longer in spades. And they just showed us also the king of diamonds while simultaneously denying the king of clubs. So we don't know how many diamonds they have, so we can't quite count five diamond tricks. But let's experiment, right? And let me tell you this, bidding Grand Slam is going to be right when you can count to 13 tricks during the auction, right? When you think you can take 13 tricks and all the information is leading you down that path, you should try to bid Grand Slam. But other than that, and one of my good friends has a good rule, never bid Grand Slam in a club bridge game, right? Because it's so minus your expected value on the hand because so few people are going to do it. And six making seven is a pretty darn good score in most clubs, right? So here, let's experiment. Let's assume we're getting five diamonds, which, by the way, I don't think we can assume that. King doubleton partner can have. I suppose partner can have singleton king, but it seems unlikely when they just showed a minimum unless they do have some sort of extra shape. So notice that one thing we have to understand is originally, I'm sorry I'm taking so much time on this, but this is a pretty interesting hand. Partner hasn't shown any sort of interest in slam, right? So they certainly have a minimum hand. So that's first thing. That kind of X's off Grand Slam. But let's be generous. Let's say we're going to get all five diamonds. We know we're probably only getting one club because partner doesn't have the king of clubs, because they could have shown it when they bid 6 diamonds, right? They could, if they had the king of clubs, they would show that first. Also, not sure what's going on in hearts, but let's say one trick, right? So 5, 1, 1, and let's say partner only has 5 trump. That's 12 tricks, folks. Even if partner has 6 trumps, maybe we don't get all 5 diamonds. There's no reason to big grand slam is what I'm saying. But it's worth kind of thinking about just in case. Nice to be thorough, but the big tip off here, and let me just flash back to the auction for 1 second before we hop into dummy. The big tip off is the fact that partner wasn't interested all along. If, let's say, over 3 spades, partner bid 4 diamonds there, right? Or 4 clubs, showing the second round control, which they don't do, but let's just pretend they're a human being. Now we have way more of a chance of going higher. But here, when partners was a minimum, we're lucky to be in maybe a contract we can make at the 6th level. And it looks pretty good, folks. Take a look. Just count your winners. It's kind of fun. You don't even have to look at losers here. You can basically count your winners, and you can see 12 rippers right off the bat. We'll attempt to take 13. It looks like we have 5 diamonds and 5 spades and 2 aces, right? Unless diamonds are absolutely brutally breaking, we should be just fine. So there is some tricks. We're going to draw some trump. Beautiful, beautiful. And now we're just going to play a low diamond to the king. And as long as they're 4-1 or better, we're going to be just fine. And now we'll kind of mess around with this. We'll see if they'll give us any sort of help to determine what to do with this sort of hand. But I think at this point, we're just going to either pitch 1 heart in a club or 2 clubs, right? We just have to make sure we get rid of our losers in this way. I'm going to pitch 2 clubs. I'm going to keep a little heart position for maybe some fun if they've pitched incorrectly. All right, boom. We're going to trump that club. And now I'm just going to plop this queen on the table. I'm hoping they pitch down to stiff jack somewhere, right? If they haven't done that, oh, well, there's 12 tricks. We'll take it. I would guess we have a fair amount of company on this. Maybe some people, 57.1%. That is a fair amount of company, I would guess. I wonder if anybody did better. Did anybody go swinging for fences on this one? There it was. There's somebody making 7. How'd they do it? They get a weird lead. Did you see this? Their auction was just a very fast auction. They just jumped to 6 spades. Sorry, let me go back to that. 2 spades, 6 spades. You might want to investigate a little further. Maybe you do better sometimes. But here, drawing trump and then king of diamonds. So he played diamonds from the other side of the table. And what did they end up doing? He played ace of hearts and trump to heart. There it is, folks. They pseudo. Oh no, they actually super squeezed. They legitimately squeezed them there. Wow, awesome. Wow, they found a way to get there, right? Pitching hearts instead, pitching a club and a heart. They get down to this position and take a look. When this player leads the queen of spades, this player has no good play, right? If they throw the jack of hearts, boom, they just pitch away a club here. Dummy's good. If they throw the jack of clubs, they do what they do. They pitch the 10 of hearts. And now the queen of clubs is going to be getting in their hand. Wow. Well done. At 3. Excellent play. Sorry we didn't find that. Would have been fun to find live, but I went the other direction with it. so it would have been even more of an moment if the jack of hearts fell singleton at some point in this sort of same thing. But honestly, that was an amazing play by that player, and we will give it to him. Let's see, what did they scoop up there? Absolute. No one tied him 100%. We have some catching up to do, but we're tied for second. Let's see where we go on this one. 12 points. Nice hand. We have an easy rebid. 1 heart, 2 diamonds, double. We're just going to bid our hand naturally, folks. We don't have a spade fit. We do have clubs. We're not showing any extra values here, folks, because we're forced to bid. And this is the lowest place we can bid clubs. And partner just floats it right out, so we're playing clubs. All right. Thank you, partner. The hearts would probably have been a little bit better. We certainly would want to be in a major. And if we're going to play in a 7-card fit, I would usually prefer to be in the 5-2 fit. But this is definitely not a terrible place to be playing. What the robots should and probably will do is switch to trump here, right? It's their best play. We only have a 7-card fit. And honestly, most of our tricks are going to be coming from trump cards. And that's what we're going to try to engineer. But here comes a club. Yeah, exactly. The robots are too good. Come on. But I was telling somebody this the other day, folks. This is good. Sometimes it feels like the robots get to cheat and kind of know where the cards are. I'm not okay. I mean, I'm okay with that because being against good defenders is really important to improving your declare play. They have to make you kind of think and play well to achieve success because human beings, I promise you, are not going to defend as well as the robots will on average, right? So it's a very good way to practice. A good friend of mine is a professional pool player. I mean, not a good friend. I know him, right? So I oversold it, right? But I've kind of gone and seen him practice. He practices on a pool table with tinier pockets, right? So this is kind of that sort of thing. When you can get to as close to perfection in that harder circumstance, when you go back to the normal play, you'll find you're doing better because you're just more prepared for those sorts of things. So let's just hop back in. Sorry for the this sidebar, but what are we gonna do? Yeah, we'll play Ace of Hearts Heart. We want to try to get as many heart roughs as we can, and the problem here is that there's their solution, right? They just have, oh wow, terrible club break. So before we start trumping back and forth, folks, we're gonna just cash our side winners. This is usually the best thing to do because now if you're playing these cards and they're out of a suit, they can start pitching those things. So we're just going to try to scoop up all of our trumps that we can. The robots did just a terrific job of defending this one, and you have to tip your cap to them. But we'll scoop up 8 and see if minus 100 gets us a reasonable score. Nothing to see here. Blah, blah, blah. All right, 50-50. 50-50. 3 clubs south, down 1. We probably should still be like around near the top, right? So many people are probably doing something like this. Other weirdness happening. 2 diamonds, just floating that. Wow, that's a risk. That's somebody just misreading the bid. And then 2 spades, just kind of buying off a 4-3 fit. Yeah, good job. But 3 clubs is your normal bid, folks. Don't show a spade fit when you don't have one, especially if you have a reasonable choice of another bid, right? Partners double shows at least 8 or more points, right? So it might seem uncomfortable to be going to this level, but it's not necessarily the worst thing, right? Passing 2 diamonds, congratulations on beating it, but that's a rough sell there. All right, let's hop back into our third chance to excel today. We're average so far, but the best thing and the thing I have to stress to you, 12 board tournaments, I've been in dead last after 3 boards and just come back and steamrolled, right? So you have so many boards to play, and the results are usually a little bit more solid in these events because this event actually awards ACBL master points, right? So there's some probably better players than you'll find in those random 8 boards. But the good thing is you have a little bit more of a time horizon to come back if you need to. What do we have here? 7, 9, 10. Ooh, wow. Big hand. 1 heart. We're going to treat this as a balanced hand, folks. But we're going to open a heart and we're going to rebid 2 no, and there we go. There's our pathway. And partner bids 3 no. If they had 5 spades or had some desire to play somewhere else, they could bid something else, but they kick it in. Let's hope our clubs aren't wide open, and they usually aren't. All right. First things first. Let's count our winners, folks. What are we looking at? Always count your winners first, and also secondarily, where are our extra tricks going to come from? And it's hilarious. We have 2 equally disgusting suits to look at. The heart suit and the club suit are brutal, but we're going to have to pick one to play. Which one would you pick to play? Which one would you pick as a possible best source of extra tricks? I would say hearts, and it's 1 card that's the difference, folks. It's this little 9 of hearts here, right? At least we have a possible play. We can play low to the queen. If we don't see an honor, if they win in the east, we'll try to get back to dummy and play low towards the 9 and hope we're getting lucky. The good thing is we have a lot of side winners, but here's the deal. When you see the diamond winners, we have 7, right? 3 diamonds and 4 spades. You do not have to work to take those tricks, right? They're tricks already. So we're almost never going to be playing our winners right away because they're already tricks we have in the bank, right? We can take these at any time and be successful. We need to create our extra tricks first while we're keeping the opponents at bay in whatever suits they're trying to create tricks in. Okay, low to the queen and king. What are they going to return? We wouldn't mind if they decided to return a club there. That would be nice. And now we have transportation problems. This is absolutely brutal because we're going to have to actually clear spades, and then we're not going to have a way back to our hand. This is absolutely sick. And they've done a really good job here. They've disrupted our communication right away, and I think we really are in a bind here because we don't have. Well, let's just look at it, right? We can play a heart from our hand, but we know we're losing 2 hearts in that shake, right? The 10 is out there, and so is the other honor. I think it's the ace. I don't know if they took the king or the ace there, but we know we have 2 losers if we lead from this hand and go. Don't make the lead route. If we lead from this hand and go this way, but secondarily we can just play spades over to this hand. But if we do that, we have to play the ace and king because we have no communication to this hand, right? So we're going to have to take all 4 spades, and the question becomes, what do we pitch from our hand? And then, even if we end up getting the hearts right, how do we get back to our hand if the opponents aren't willing to lead a diamond for us? Rough stuff. What do we have? 2, 6. I'm going to play for a little bit of a robot meltdown here. So we're going to play ace of spade. Wow. Now we know spades are bad for us, right? Now we know if we cash all the spades, we're creating a winner for them. So I'm going to pivot here. I'm just going to lead over to the spade, and now I'm going to play a heart. I like that. Now the clubs are a little safer, and the diamond over here is going to be pretty good for us. Okay, good. So if hearts are breaking, they're not, of course. Can't have that in there. Now we just hope that righty ends up winning a trick with a club and having to lead a spade. And this might be it. I think they just have 2 spades left. Am I right? Or a diamond and a spade left. All right, we're going to get an 8th trick, I think. Oh, they pitched all their spades. Okay. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you don't pay attention. So it didn't look like we did anything terribly wrong here, which is why we're around 46%. We went down 2. We could probably find a way to go down 1. Obviously, we can because some people did that. The rest of the field is kind of in between, right? Down 2, down 3. Somebody played 4 spades. That would have maybe not been terrible. And guys, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong screen. That wouldn't have been necessarily terrible if the spades weren't breaking as badly as they were, right? So here, just a mixture of results. I mean, if you stayed low, congratulations, but honestly, you can't be below 2 no trump on this hand, right? This is such a good hand. You just get terribly unlucky with the cards that are over there in partner's hand, and that's sometimes how it goes, right? I think a bunch of different lines could have been successful, especially because this 10 of hearts ends up being pretty interesting. If you led from your hand, if you could have led the jack of hearts before clearing spades, maybe that's how you went down 1. All right, let's hop in and see what we're going to deal with tomorrow, and then I will bid you adieu. All right, so wait, no, we're on the wrong page there. There we go. There's our score so far. We're 51.2. Struggling a little bit here, but there's nothing really I would do differently other than maybe a couple of tiny details in the play now that I know what the heck the cards were. But here don't get down. You're in a good spot, right? You're right in the middle of the field. You're above average, actually. And a bunch of boards are left to come. 9 to go. I'll see you for those. Thanks so much for joining, folks, and we'll see 4, 5, and 6 tomorrow.